Hello, my name is Tunde. I am an automation test engineer with years of experience in private and public sector. I had used Java to build Selenium automation framework from scratch, and I like to share my knowledge I acquired over the years with you guys on this platform and to demonstrate some of the techniques I used in building automation framework. I will be using Selenium with Java and Cucumber for this tutorial, but before we get ball rolling, we need to download some dependencies required on our machine. So I'm going to open my sticky notes. Yeah, these are the dependencies we need to download before we build or to create a project. I know that some of you might already have all these installed, but for some of us that don't have it, you can follow my steps and to install all these dependencies. Firstly, I need to open my PowerShell. Okay, before I do that, let me go to Chocolatey website. Um, just bear with me. Open new window. Let's go to Chocolatey. This is Chocolatey website. I'm just gonna minimize this. So this is Chocolatey website. You can see that is a package manager for Windows, and you can read more about it if you interested anyway. And if I go to install, why is it here? If I go to let me install, you can see the installation process here. It's simple and straightforward. But this package, this is the package that we need to copy and to install. Just go to your PowerShell. I'm going to use PowerShell to install it, and make sure that your PowerShell, you open it as an administrator. So if I open my PowerShell, your PowerShell might not be here. You can just search for it here and right click on the PowerShell. You see the option open as an administrator. So if I right click on mine now, if I click PowerShell, right click as admin, my PowerShell is open, will be open, right? Then if you follow this, if you don't see any error, you are ready to use Chocolatey on the step 5. So just type Choco, because I already have it installed. Type Choco. So just Choco. You see the version, I already installed Chocolatey. So for some of us that don't have it, you just need to copy to clipboard here and just come over to your PowerShell, open as an administrator, just paste it there and press enter. That's it. You will have installed Chocolatey. So let's verify that it was installed successfully by type Choco again. You should see this. If you don't see this or you see an error message, just close your PowerShell, reopen it again as an administrator, then just type Choco and you should be fine. So the next on the list is to install JDK. I know that most people already have JDK installed anyway. So but if you don't, then we're going to use Chocolatey to do that for us. Just just click on the search icon here, type JDK. We have 64 packages returned, but you can select JDK 8 or 11, one of these two. Let's copy 8 or 2. If you copy 11, for example, or you copy 8, for example, come over to your PowerShell again and put it there and press enter. JDK should install successfully. And I already installed it. If I type Java version, you can see that I have JDK installed. So if you follow the same process by copying this and paste it into your PowerShell and just press enter, it should install successfully. Then if you see an error message when you type Java version, close your PowerShell again as I said earlier, reopen, type Java version here, and you should see that Java JDK is installed with the version. So the next thing to do is to come to Maven. So let me go to Maven, Apache Maven website. If I go to this Apache Maven website, you can read more about Maven. Let's go to page. So tool for Java application is being used by mainly Java developers. If you know how to build an application or dependencies, you can build it and put it on Apache Maven, and you can collaborate with some of the other developer as well. So for our use, we're gonna use it to download Selenium WebDriver, to download Cucumber, and to download JUnit. So you can just go through the Maven in 5 minutes. Just read the installation process. You should, if you're interested, I think you should anyway, for your own understanding. So I'm gonna go back to Chocolatey. If I type Maven here, MVN version, I already installed it. You can see that I have 3.63 installed. So if you don't have it, just come back to Chocolatey, type Maven, and then you should see Maven 3.6. That's what you need. Just copy that to your clipboard and come back to PowerShell and paste it there and press enter. Then Maven should install successfully, and verify it again by type MVN version. I'm gonna put in notes all this version verification for you guys. So if you've seen an error message again after finish installation, close your PowerShell, reopen it as an administrator, then type mvn space version. It should install it successfully for you. So the next thing to install is Intellij. If you have Eclipse, you don't need to install Intellij, but I prefer Intellij. And then we're gonna install Intellij using Chocolatey. We can actually install it directly from the Intellij website. Come over here. You can install Intellij directly anyway. Click on download. Then what you need is download community version. But for seamless installation, I prefer using Chocolatey to install it. So if I go back to Intellij, let's search for Intellij. So PowerShell, then install, press enter. This should take about 5 to 7 minutes to finish installation. I already installed it. So after finish downloading Intellij, you can actually verify it by going to your Windows Start here, and you should see the Intellij on your application here. I think that is that for our download. But in order for us to know that all these downloads are working, are communicating to each other, it's better for us to create a small Java application, and that's what I will do now. So you go to, just open Intellij wherever it is, but it's already here for me. Look for it and click on Intellij to open. Now, this is what you will see when you first open your Intellij. You're going to click on create a new project. Click create a new project. It's already been set. We're going to create a Maven project, as I said earlier. So you're going to see your project Java version will be set as default for you here. But if you don't see it, which I doubt, just click on the drop down here, sorry, on the new, and then we click on the new. You should be able to go to the program file where JDK was installed and just select it. So if I click on new, you see that mine is here, and just select that and click OK. So I'm going to click leave everything as it is, then click next. We need to name our projects. Just give it a name of your choice. I'm going to name it project. And I'm going to, the location is on my desktop. I already set this anyway. Yours might not be on your desktop, but you can leave it as default on the location, and just expand on artifact coordinates. And on artifact coordinates, so we're going to name this as org.example. That's a convention for naming Maven project where, let's say we have yahoo.com, you're gonna name your group ID would be com.yahoo. So it's just in reversing order. So we're gonna say, yeah, com dot. Let's assume that our website is verification.com. Then reversing order will be com.verification. So artifact ID, you leave it as it is. I think that's just it. And just click finish here. Now the project will be created for us. So these are just the tips on Intellij. I'm just going to close it. I don't need it. You're going to see this Maven project need to be imported. Yeah, just click enable auto import for us. We don't need to do anything manually. So it's importing the Maven project setup for us. Just give it some minutes. So I think it should be fine now. The next thing to do is to just expand the project folder, at least to see the structure of our project. You expand that, you see the IDE is a Intellij IDE setup, so you don't need to do anything here. Expand the source folder. So these are the two main folders that we're going to be working on. The source main, Java resources, and come to folder, test Java, and Maven. This is very, very critical. The Maven is an XML format. This is where we're gonna put all our dependencies. For example, downloading Selenium, downloading Cucumber, and downloading JUnit, and any other relevant dependencies for our project. So on the Java folder, this is where we're going to have our Java package and Java class. And on the test Java folder, this is where we're going to have our test runner class. For example, we want to run any text. This is the test Java folder that we're going to do that for us. So as I said, that we need to verify all these packages are working or communicating to each other. So I need to go to, let me create a just simple class. Here, click on Java class. Sorry guys, I assuming that you know the fundamental of Java programming language anyway. So that's this project is based on that assumption. So class is let me say let me just give it a name. Number text. So this add number text. I just want to highlight two numbers together to just verify everything are working accordingly. So if I said okay at test, okay, which test are you talking about? Because we don't see any at test here on the snippets, because I don't have any, I've not installed any test dependencies to run on this project. So in order for us to use JUnit, you can see it give me suggestion, add JUnit 4 to class path, JUnit 5 to class path. In fact, just like you click that, you come over here on our dependencies. You see how beautiful it is. It had that for us automatically. And hold on, guys, just testing something. So you can see that the error message are gone. You know, before, let me just show you something. If I comment this out, if I just comment this out, it wasn't there before. If you are following me from the beginning, this dependencies was not there before. And when I do a test, we see that, okay, what are you trying to do? And it gives us suggestion here on the red ball. If I expand it, it asks, okay, do you want to add JUnit 4 to class path or 5? I just choose 4. And if I go back to my POM file, it automatically had it for us. That's the beauty of Maven projects. You don't need to do any manual downloading JUnits, put it in one small folder and look at the folder in your machine and trying to map out the path. So Maven is going to do this for automatically installation without you doing the manual mapping. So that is that. We're going to know more about this later in the course. So I'm just going to say, okay, just give me number class is equal to number class is equal to new number class term 5. What I'm doing here, I'm using TDD to write my code. That's one of the approach I use to build my Selenium automation framework. I write a field test, refactor it, and making sure that that test pass. So you will see that later in the session. So number class is not exist. I'm just gonna say number class dot add to numbers. So all this are not, and they are not exist. I've not created any of this yet. So in order for me to create it, you see that if you put your cursor here, it's going to give you a suggestion. Create a class, number class. If I create a class now, click on that. Where do you want to put that class? If you remember, I said anything related to test are going to be inside test Java folder. Anything that is not related to test is going to be on the source, main Java folder. So source main Java folder has been selected for us. Assuming I created a package, the package will have shown here, but I didn't create any package, just a simple class. I'm just going to say, okay, I want number class to be on this source main Java folder. And you can see if you expand this now, you already see my class here, but we're still seeing an error message. which is this one and this one. So if I go back to my Java class and I need to create a constructor. Number class constructor. If you don't know what constructor is, I think you should read about it, or I'm going to talk about it more later in the session. One. So this is not exist yet. I need to create a field variable here on num1, num2, create a field variable which is an integer. Then go back to here. You can see that all these are now working fine. I don't have an add two numbers method yet. If I expand that, create that method. Now we come over here now. You can see everything working fine. That's red green refactor. That's what we call TDD, test driven development. So if I come back over here now, I can now say num1 plus num2. So I'm going to pass it inside variable in results is equal to int results is equal to num1 plus num2. Then let me print it out. System dot out dot print line results. So now if I run this, hopefully everything should work fine. Just a simple Java application. So in order to run our JUnit test, just right click here and you see run add number test. Just click that. Leave all this warning, it doesn't matter. You can see that 10 plus 15, 10 plus 5 is equal to 15. That's our results here. So that shows that our dependencies are communicating to each other or are working. I would like you to give me a feedback on this video and where you need an improvement, or if you want to ask any question, and I will do all my best to answer that question. Thanks very much, and the next video will be how to create a Selenium framework from scratch. Thank you guys.